there's one genre that lends itself to boom or bust, it's the online shooter. For every success, like Call of Duty or Apex Legends, it seems like there are at least a dozen other games that have come and gone with barely a spark before they fizzle. With so many good competitive shooters in play, what makes one stand out? For the finals, the answer is excellent game show-infused style and a brilliantly destructible playground.
The live wires are electrifying the game with a stunning comeback.
The live wires just...
If the 1987 movie The Running Man were about 3v3 gunfights, it would have resembled the finals. You and two teammates face off against other three-person squads in a virtual game show, vying to see who can be the first to score enough cash before time runs out. The vibrant color palette combines with a pair of live sports-style play-by-play announcers to give it that over-the-top American Gladiators feel that people in the 80s thought was going to be the future of sports. That strikes a great balance of not taking itself too seriously without becoming obnoxious.
That first elimination sends a clear message that it's game time.
Our match is in full swing!
There are currently two main modes. The first, Quick Cash, has each team vying to collect a vault of coins and deposit it at a designated spot on the map, which tends to result in the bloody convergence of all three squads at those points. This really effectively keeps the action going, and because taking over the deposit doesn't reset its progress, rounds move at a steady pace and avoid momentum-killing stalemates altogether. Meanwhile, the Bank It mode focuses a bit more on direct PvP battles. Here, each player carries coins in their virtual pockets, all of which is gathered either from vaults around the map or by eliminating enemies. The on-the-fly strategizing of going for kills 1 second and then needing to deposit your loot before it all goes to waste the next is exciting, and it's pretty fun to pull off a move like this. Eliminating someone right in front of the bank so you can deposit all of their coins for yourself. Individually, both modes are well designed and generally very fun. The fact that the finals is limited to just those two options, however, is a little worrying. If the player base starts to grow tired of these game types and there aren't any other options, there's a real possibility of people moving on before too long. Hopefully that's addressed with new modes in future updates. Thankfully, once you've played a few matches, you'll unlock tournaments, and this is where the competitive attitude of the finals really shines. The primary tournament mode puts you and 7 other teams in a bracket playing modified versions of Cash Out. The field is narrowed in each round until the top 2 teams face off in a direct 3v3 match to determine the overall winner.
It's what we've all been waiting for. It's the final round.
It does a great job of mixing the high-stakes nature of an actual competition with rounds that are fast and satisfying enough to elicit that just one more game feeling. There are 3 different weight classes for your character, and they all play very differently from each other. The light build focuses on mobility, trading stopping power for a grappling hook. The medium is an all-rounder and has abilities that focus on support. And finally, there's the heavy, which alternates between powerful weapons and smashing through walls like the Juggernaut. There's a solid variety of equipment for you to choose from before each match, and they can have a major impact on the battlefield if used properly. There are standard choices, like these deployable cover or these frag grenades, but they hardly stand out when you can instead drop one of these jump pads
Get airborne.
or throw goo grenades that do this.
We're examining the contents of Pool 2.
Some options are universal, like the pyro grenades, while others are restricted to specific classes, like this medium exclusive defibrillator that instantly revives downed teammates. Those choices are undermined, however, as balance issues are a bit of a concern at the moment. Heavies tend to be ubiquitous in competitive modes, and their huge health pool and high damage output makes it easy to see why. Certain weapons like the flamethrower, grenade launcher, and sword seem to make up an outsized portion of the weapons that you can expect to face, too. Future updates could even things out, but as it is, a lightweight build with the semi-automatic battle rifle, for example, really struggles to compete, and that's a shame. Each character archetype also has a litany of cosmetics that can be unlocked through XP progression or by spending real-world money. There's a pretty solid assortment to choose from right out of the gate, though the amount of time it takes to unlock good-looking items is in need of a major retuning. It can take many hours just to earn a fanny pack and tights, for example. That slow progression is also true of VRs, the in-game cash you earn for playing that's used to unlock non-cosmetic things like different abilities, weapons, and gadgets. The finals skews a bit too stingy on how many it hands out after matches. It's hard to experiment with builds when all the pieces for each character are locked behind dozens of hours of matches. Multi-bucks are the paid premium currency, and the multi-buck exclusive items are the right mix of being unique enough to consider, but not necessary for folks who don't want to spend the money. They include the flashiest items, like this sweet Elvis-style jumpsuit in the paid battle pass, or gold skins that you can buy for your weapons. Importantly, nothing restricted to multi-bucks offers a competitive advantage, so there's no pay-to-win option, especially since VRs can only be earned through playing. None of the premium stuff is essential either, with the possible exception of Conspiracitten here. He might be too cute to pass up.
Who's the cute little guy with troubling opinions online? Oh yes you are! Oh yes you are!
The shock and awe have taken up arms and are charging back into the arena.
The destructibility of each stage is the real star of the finals. Sure, you can enter a room from the door or window, but forging your own path like this is a thrilling way to get the drop on unsuspecting teams. And you haven't really played the finals until you've stolen the vault from below like this. By the end of a tense match, the battlefield is often littered with debris from entire buildings beginning to collapse. There's a lot more to that system than some cool rubble and an ad hoc door too, as the strategic impact is huge. One map is high atop skyscrapers connected by sky bridges, and watching those bridges collapse is both a sight to behold and a major strategic challenge to overcome. Split-second judgment calls when buildings fall around you about whether to jump off or ride the debris down can make or break firefights and create incredible moments like this.
Change is good, especially in the bank.
If you don't have many friends to share those triumphant victories with, matchmaking as a solo player is quick and easy, and the single-button ping system makes it simple to communicate with random people without needing to be on a mic. There's nothing to be gained by ignoring objectives and going for straight kills, so teammates tend to do a good job of being focused on the task, making solo play very viable. It does have one glaring weakness, however. In matches where you either don't get grouped into a full 3-person team, or someone leaves mid-fight, people will rarely be pulled into your team to refill your ranks. It's very disheartening to be in a match by yourself, knowing that you have no shot at winning. There will always be an element of luck in the quality of teammates that you are matched with, which is a big part of why the finals, as with most team-based shooters, is better with people you know. It's so much fun to coordinate an assault with friends, or to seize the bank and then protect it with mines and defensive structures. It's also a huge advantage to work together. This flamethrower-wielding heavy supported by a healing beam from a medium can wipe an entire team, and the strategic element of choosing complementary builds and kits is very engaging. When someone dies, they even leave an action figure behind that can be used to revive them, and scooping up one so you can find a safe place to bring them back is as useful as it is hilarious.
I love this part of our show. Who will get to the new vault first?
The finals does a great job standing out from the competitive shooter crowd thanks to its fast-paced action, excellent environmental destruction, and game show meets squad shooter vibes. The way flying through the battle with a grappling hook or Hulk smashing through buildings mixes with its strict, objective-based modes is a breath of fresh air. It's a concern that there are only 2 of those modes right now, and it definitely feels like both in-game balance and the overall reward economy need some adjustments, but those are small critiques relative to the outrageous fun and breathtaking spectacle of buildings crumbling around you. For more action with friends, check out our reviews of the Anacrusis or LEGO Fortnite. And for everything else, stick with IGN.